welcome you all once again for the Valedictory ceremony.
Whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act upon must inevitably come to pass, said by Paul J. Mayer. This 5-day conference has truly been an example of one such activity. Esteemed dignitaries and all delegates present here, I am very happy to see you all once again. May I now invite Professor Joseph Kennedy, Head of the Department of Mathematics, to deliver the welcome address.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. It is a great pleasure to welcome all of you here for this closing ceremony of this Finite and Infinite Dimensional Complex Analysis and Application 2023. A person who is not only a wonderful inspiration to all of us, but also a visionary and the person who gave us a belief and confidence to conduct this conference is Professor Gurmeet Singh, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, and the Chief Guest of this closing ceremony. And we welcome you, sir. And further, I also extend my warm welcome to Professor Armen Sergiu from Russia, the chairperson of this conference. We welcome you, sir. And I extend the joyful welcome to all the speakers and participants and our faculty members, staff, and PhD scholars and students. This formal program makes the end of the conference, which also included many sessions for the presentation of submission of submitted papers, 15 plenary lectures, and 20 invited lecture and keynote addresses. We believe that the participants have benefited a lot from these deliberations that have taken place during these last 5 days. As the HOD of the Department of Mathematics, I thank my colleague Professor Rakesh Kumar Parmar, the convener of this program, to bring this wonderful event to our Department of Mathematics, Pondicherry University. And I hope you all enjoyed this conference. And I'm an eyewitness for your enjoyment in and dance with the dance in the cultural program. I also hope you enjoyed with the local visit to Pondicherry arranged by our conference. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the cordial welcome. May I now request our beloved chairperson, Professor Armen Sergiu, to felicitate our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Gurmeet Singh. What a piece of work is a man, how noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, inform and moving, how express and admire in action, how like an angel in apprehension, how like a god, the beauty of the word, the paragon of animals, said by William Shakespeare. With this quote, I would like to share about our chairperson of ICFIDCAA 2023, Professor Armen Sergiu, from Mathematical Institute, Russia. Professor is a remarkable mathematician of Moscow Mathematical Journal and the Independent University of Moscow. He graduated from the Department of Mechanics and the Mathematics of Moscow State University. His students' works and diploma thesis were the Functional Theory and Functional Analysis. His PhD thesis, supervised by Professor, was devoted to the theory of hyperfunction. The topological and geometrical approach to analytical problems is characterized for very beginning from his studies and research. For many years, he supervised as the Deputy Director of the Mathematical Institute, organizing research and contributing a great deal to all the sides of the institute life. He is also very active in the Mathematical Society, MMS, being the editor-in-chief of the MMM proceeding. Now I request Professor to address the August gathering and present the report.
So I was asked to present the report which was done by the volunteers who were working here during this conference. But before that, I want to share with you two of my personal impressions. My first impression was that this conference is very well organized. Very well organized. I would say this is the best organized conference which I have visited for last years. And I visit many conferences. So, of course, this is because Professor Eckert Parmar and all volunteers, they did a good job. So I'm really impressed by what they did. And my second personal impression is about all people here, not only in this university, but also outside in the streets. Of course, I heard about hospitality, famous Indian hospitality, but I never expected that it is so generous, people, not only here for sure, but also in the streets, the people are so friendly to us. Really, it is something, yes. I love India. I was asked to present this report prepared by the volunteers, but maybe it's very nice. It's analyzes and give a short description of the whole conference, but I will not probably do that because it might be more boring. And I only present you the beginning of this report. So, the 29th International Conference on Finite and Infinite Dimensional Complex Analysis and Applications was conducted by the Department of Mathematics, Ramanujan School of Mathematical Sciences, Pondicherry University, from 21st of August to 25th of August. In the Cultural Convention Center. The main objective of the 29th conference is to bring mathematicians from various parts of the world to interact with each other and to provide an excellent international platform to indicate research interest among young researchers on recent topics of complex analysis, where they can present their research and scientific work, which may give rise to international collaborators in the area. Once the venue of the 29th conference was announced, the organizing committee started reaching out to colleagues, scholars, and academicians for their research papers, and initially around 130 abstracts were received. Out of them, 108 papers were selected, which were in tandem with the conference theme for the final presentation and the book of abstracts. Once the final papers with the abstracts were available, the book of abstracts was designed. The conference was graced by 15 international delegates from Russia, Japan, South Korea, Syria, Croatia, Malaysia, and USA, and over 100 participants from various parts of India. And this conference, this is already 29th conference, but all previous conferences were very successful. And this one is one of the best. So, congratulations again.
Leadership is not about titles, positions, or flowcharts. It is about one life influencing another, said by John C. Maxwell. With this quote, I would like to introduce our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Gurmeet Singh. Professor Gurmeet Singh, a renowned academic administrator and an internationally reputed expert in the field of corrosion science and smart materials, has begun his academic career as lecturer in the Department of Chemistry at University of Delhi in 1976, rising to become a professor about 20 years ago. Sir has served as principal at Deshbandhu College at University of Delhi from 1997 to 1999. Sir has held the position of proctor and has also been a member of the Executive Council from 2005 to 2010. During 2011 to 12, Professor Singh served as a chair professor at Lunga University at Taipei. Sir has also held the position of head of the department from 2014 to 2017 at University of Delhi. He had been on high-level committees of the UGC, DBT, CSIR and several other public institutions. An inspiring teacher and mentor of research, Professor Gurmeet Singh has guided 14 MPhil and 50 PhD scholars. Several of the resulting contributions have received accolades and best paper awards at national and international conferences. An often decorated academician, Professor Gurmeet Singh has received the Meritorious Contribution Award, the Annapurna Award, membership of the Royal Society of Chemistry, London, and fellowship of SAEST and the Electrochemical Society of India. I am profusely delighted to welcome our chief guest, Honorable Professor Gurmeet Singh, the Vice Chancellor of Pondicherry University, to deliver the valedictory address.
Good afternoon to everybody, and thank you very much for very kind words about me. When I entered the hall, I looked at the audience and I really was delighted to see that it is really an international conference because of a large number of speakers coming from a variety of countries. Invariably, I have seen in subjects when we go, there's a international conference and we find 2-3 speakers from Sri Lanka. That's about it. So, but this is a delight to see many friends from all over. I am a very firm believer in the fact that the more we interact, the subject shall grow in the right direction, importantly for the benefit of humanity. And a subject like mathematics, from where people are deviating away or running away, I'll say, is in the dire state of attracting more youngsters. I am of a very firm belief that if somebody is good at maths, he will be good at any subject. Believe me, when I make this statement, it has a meaning. In my own university, where I worked for about nearly 38 years, though I was in chemistry department, I took up those branches of chemistry which were all related to mathematics. I wanted to join mathematics when I was in my school, did very well, but by a sheer stroke of luck, you can call it, or fluke, I scored very high marks in chemistry. And the college I wanted to join, I could get in only because of that high marks in chemistry in that. And I missed my chance to be in maths. But then, because of my sheer love for this subject, I picked up in chemistry all subjects which were maths related, and you will all mathematicians sitting here will bear me out when I'll say all through I was teaching group theory, a subject people don't come near. All MSc students for about good 25 years I was teaching group theory, all latest modern aspects. Reaction mechanism was another one which is full of maths. I picked up that and that's what I kept on teaching. Thermodynamics was the third one, where it's all maths again, and Laplace and other equations if you have heard about, all related to maths. So I had so much of love that I specialized in physical chemistry. People said organic or inorganic will be better. I said no, I will specialize in physical and then shift over to inorganic, where mathematical related topics I'll teach. So that's the beauty of this subject. But let me tell my young friends that you will enjoy maths once you work seriously for it. People think it's a very difficult subject, so why get into this? It is not. This is one of those subjects that if you're clear, you start enjoying it so much that nothing else will you will appreciate about. Nothing else you'll appreciate if you start enjoying this subject. It is so fascinating a subject that one loves to be in this. And I have seen during my teaching days in the University of Delhi, some of the best biologists that we had. If I name, you may not know them. Professor Mohan Ram, whose son is a very eminent musician who heads that Indian Ocean band. Rahul Ram. He was a mathematician, but then switched on to botany and did so very well in botany that he's a name to be reckoned in this subject. There are two professors in zoology, they were in mathematics, they switched on to that. There was a professor by name Professor Subroto Lahiri. He did mathematics, came down to art department, and he became one of the finest teachers of chemistry. So mathematics is a very important subject. If one is clear about it, one will tend to do very well in any subject you move into, because you have a habit of doing everything very precisely, very meticulously, and very clearly. There is nothing like if I write 2 into 2, 4, there is nothing like what you say in philosophy, well, it could be 3.8, if I stretch it a little, it will be nearer to 4, or it will even cross over to 4.1. There is no if and buts here. It's a very clear-cut subject. I have been enjoying, I'm sure you would have enjoyed. And I have also believed in the fact that if a conference like this is organized, which I'm delighted that you have done it, when they came to me that we are organizing this conference, I said, please go ahead and tell me whatever we have to do, it will be there straight away, without any question being asked. Reason for that is that, as I said, I am a very firm believer in the fact that if you give me one idea and I give you one idea, it will fructify into many thousands of ideas. This happens only when you have a conference of this nature, where you have friends from abroad, friends from other states, and you get a chance to interact with them. I'm sure you would have enjoyed. Had I been here in the inaugural function, which I unfortunately missed because of certain exigencies, I would have advised my youngsters that don't allow our young foreign friends to relax and enjoy their dinners, lunches and coffees in a fine manner. Disturb them as much as you can with your discussions and ideas. But I was not here, probably. I'm sure you would have done the same thing. This is one great occasion when you can interact with these big ones and develop your own subject. Through this only you come to know what area of research to get into. Things are changing very fast. So is maths. This is a very evolving subject, let me tell you. And the way subjects like calculus, statistics have been used for the benefit of humanities, the way they have done this, one of the greatest statisticians of our times, Professor C.R. Rao, we lost him recently. The kind of work they have done, it has helped many countries to grow in the right direction in the best of the manners in shortest possible time. That is the beauty of this subject. It will tell you, there is a subject like operational research, it will tell you what way to achieve in the shortest possible ones. But then many of us are, unfortunately, are not aware of what are these. When we tell them there is a science called operational research in maths, they will say, we thought it is only in medicines that we talk about operations and surgeries and other things. So there is something you do in maths also. But it's the finer part of it which one has to learn. So I've been giving this, that you give me 1,000 rupees, I give you 2,000, it will remain 2,000. 1,000 from my side, 1,000 from your side, won't grow. But a conference like this, where you discuss some of your ideas and some ideas will flow from other quarter, they will multiply into many other ideas and the subject shall grow. The growth of the subject is needed not for our own individual sake, not for our state, not for our university. It is required to be grown for the benefit of humanity, and that happens when we meet in conferences like this. I am very much aware of the fact that organizing a conference of this nature, where we have lot of guests from outside, is not a very easy job. To look after them, to make them comfortable, to organize their lectures, to ensure that everything goes as per schedule is a very difficult task, and our mathematics department has done very well by doing all this. I think it goes to their credit, and I really appreciate their effort, because it is this which will, as I said, help our maths to grow in the right direction. Right direction, as I said, for the benefit of everyone. So, wonderful thing. And when I was sitting here, I asked Professor Sergeyev, I should have started with this, dear Professor Armin Sergeyev, and Professor Sugawa, Professor Kennedy, Mr. Rakesh Parmar, and all other colleagues who have come here to address them in a proper way. I just started giving my address. I welcome you here, and I'm grateful that you have all taken your time out to be with us. When I was talking to Mr. Sergeyev, I said, "Are you from Hungary?" He says, "No, I'm from Russia." So, well, he said he's from Hungary. No, immediately that took me to way back in 1991 when I was in Hungary for 1 year. And you name a city, I would have visited those. Szeged, Veszprém, Miskolc or Budapest. Name a place, I would have visited that, and I would have lectured in those universities. Well, 91 is an old time, but then I really enjoyed the wonderful hospitality that we had from our Hungarian friends. We are still in touch. And major part of my stay there was in Central Research Institute of Chemistry in Budapest. Then I had my neighbor sitting here, Professor Sugawa. He said he's from Japan. And immediately my thoughts went to 1987. My own PhD examiner was from Sendai, where he comes from. His name was Professor Wataru Suitaka. And when I visited Japan, I visited a number of times. When I visited for the first time, I got in touch with him. I said, "I'm so and so." He said, "Then why don't we meet over a cup of coffee?" And we planned to spend about half an hour, but he came all the way from Sendai to where I was. I was in a place called, what is that city near Tokyo, Scientific City. I was there, where you have 54 institute, scuba. So he came all the way, and instead of spending half an hour, we spent about an hour and a half discussing various aspects of our subject. So that's the beauty of science, beauty of our conferences. And then I happened to go to a place called Hokkaido, very cold place. And we had a very well-known chemist called Professor Kazuo Tano, where we interacted. So, the moment I am here, the memories of good old time started flashing my mind. It started crisscrossing that what I did in Hokkaido, what was done in Sendai and other places in Hungary. So similarly in Korea, if you talk about many places you have visited, and it is during these conferences when you exchange ideas, you would probably say that this is the institute I would like to work in, or your friend will say this is the problem one would like to work in, and you develop joint projects, you start working on projects, you start working on problems which will result in similar joint publications. So all this will stem out of conferences like this. So I'm very delighted that this has been organized. My highest compliments to the mathematics department for doing a great work, and my sincere apologies for not being here on the inaugural, because that was something which was beyond me and I missed it out. I should have also apologized right in the beginning for this little delay that I had in reaching here, again because of something which this program was fixed up very hurriedly. So anyway, I'm very happy to see that young minds are very attentively listening to this. Let me also give you a parameter which you can use for judging the success of a conference. The brilliant young minds, if you find them sitting in the valedictory function with this kind of number and this kind of attention, it speaks in volumes about the success of a conference. Otherwise, what you find is, in the inaugural you will have too many, 200, and during the valedictory you will have about 25, 30, and half of them would be sleeping. But here what I am seeing is each and everybody is very, very attentive, and it seems you have enjoyed your conference of 5 days. I am sure you would have interacted with the guests in good number of discussions, and you would have also got an idea of writing papers, developing joint projects, working on joint research papers. This is the success. And the way I can see the spark in some of our brilliant researchers, I can just say with an absolute sense of confidence that the conference has been a success. And Professor Sergeyev has already given you a certificate, which I don't think I could have given you that. He said this conference is very, very well organized, and which seems people have been very satisfied, and it has been a great work done. Thank you so very much for coming over. All our friends who have come from far-flung areas, I am personally grateful to all of you for spending your time, sparing your time here, and for interacting with the young minds. And to young minds for being here, and I'm sure you would have made the best use of this. So thank you so very much. God bless all of you. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you so much, sir. We feel really privileged to have a constant support from you. Next, may I now invite our renowned Vice Chairperson, ICFIDCAA 2023, Professor Suhawa from Tohoku University, Japan, to share a few words about the conference.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't think about my words, but anyway, I'd like to thank the organizing, team or local organizers of this conferences, because this conference was quite well organized, and everything was well prepared, and also they showed us their hospitality, and so everything was fine and excellent. Yeah, I enjoyed really this conference. Yeah. And maybe let me say a few words about the next conference. I mean, which that will be the 30th, this series of conferences, and this will be held in Sendai, in my university, Tohoku University. Thank you very much. I'm not sure if I could hold of similar level of the conference, but I will try to do my best. And I hope that all of you will come to Sendai to see you again. And so I think that maybe some more information will be given through the conference website. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much for your kind words, sir. Good feedback is the key to improvement. Learners need endless feedback more than they need endless teaching. As we get more feedback, that gives us the opportunity to improve. So now, I would like to request Professor Vesna from Serbia to give a feedback on this conference.
So I should say that I'm very honored and very grateful to everybody here, and I'm very happy to be among all of you. So I can agree with personal with these words with Professor Sergeyev, personal impressions. I can sign every word he said, so I will not repeat that. But I just want to say that this is really, we heard so many nice things, so I just want to point it out that maybe one of most exciting thing here is that we all were witnessing this historical moment when this Chandrayaan-3 was landed, this spacecraft, and it's really, we were very, very proud and shared that with all of you, and I want to congratulate once more, and it's really very, very nice because mathematicians, we are sometimes in society sometimes on the boundary, because it's not easy to be a mathematician. Society respect poetry, artists, and maybe some other scientists, but mathematicians maybe have some obstacles, because we are trying we are seeking some lightness in the darkness, and it's not so easy sometimes, but the most important thing is to feel connected and to exchange these ideas and to find some lightness and some beauty in the world. So I think this is one of the best places in the world, I mean India, to find this lightness, and it's true this saying that the guest is God. So we really feel like that. So thank you very much for your very warm hospitality. Thank you.
Dear Professor Singh, Sergeyev, Kennedy, Shugawa, and finally Professor Parmar, thank you for invitation to say some words. During the opening ceremony, I mentioned that I was present on 2 of conferences of ICFIDCAA in 2012 and I think 2013, but I'm not sure now about that years, and mentioned that I just pick up some very nice memories about that conferences. In that time, few days ago, I cannot prognose which memories can I collect here and will collect in the meanwhile, obviously. So now we just have to give some conclusion. My strongest conclusion is the following. I am very happy to give my short speak now. After all other speakers, I will sign the words fully about the quality, about the differences to the others, and about the perspectives we will have here with the youngsters who are coming and who show that they are able to give new results, bring new ideas, and will once just replace us when we were not in position to advise them about how we can just expose our ideas. Finally, thank you for the hospitality. The first time when I was in that conference series present, the convener was my co-author, Yunesang Choi, in Gyeongju in Korea. The second time in Fukuoka, I have also some co-authors, but not in organizing committee. And now my frequent co-author is a convener, Rakesh Parmar. More than 10 common papers we published until now, and I think that we will follow that cooperation. And we'll see about the next conference. Maybe I will be there, I hope so, full-heartedly, but I am not sure because of who knows what will bring the future. So I am really satisfied with all that because of saying new words about hospitality. I think that is a sin after Professor Sergeyev's sentences. And goodbye. To see you on the next conference with some successful efforts.
May I now invite Assistant Professor Vibhuti Arora from NIT Calicut to give a feedback on this conference.
So good afternoon all. I'm honored to be a part of this conference again. I had attended this conference, same conference, during my PhD with my supervisor, Swadesh sir, in 2019 in Russia. So that one also a beautiful journey I had. That conference holds a special place in my heart because that one was the last conference I attended physically, international conference before this one, and also that one was the first international visit I had, and this one as well had a remarkable memory, and also I get to know the various research work going on this area, this complex analysis field. So I'm thankful to all, a special thanks to Rakesh sir, all the organizing committee and the volunteer for such a memorable visit. And when I visited Russia for the 27th series, I met Professor Sugawa, Professor Sergeyev and Rakesh sir there. So I'm thankful to all of you for such a memorable visit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your insightful comments. Appreciation is a wonderful thing. It makes what is excellent in others belong to us as well. Professor Sudip Mitra from University of New York, USA has sent his appreciation and feedback through email. So I request Amal to read it out.
A pleasant good afternoon to the Central Excellencies and everyone. I take it as an almighty blessing to speak on behalf of Professor Sudip Mitra. Sir writes, the 29th International Conference on Finite or Infinite Dimensional Complex Analysis and Application ICFIDCAA that I attended from August 21 to 23 was surely one of the best conferences that I have ever attended. I really wish I could stay till the end of this wonderful conference. Unfortunately, I have to return to USA for the beginning of the new semester and I had to curtail my stay at Pondicherry. To be honest, this conference was beyond my expectation. It was indeed a great pleasure to be invited to give a plenary talk at this conference. I had the privilege of meeting with many eminent mathematicians from various parts of the world. Most important of all, it was inspiring to meet and attend the talks of so many mathematicians from different parts of India. Thanks to all the organizers for making this conference a splendid success. Special thanks to Professor Toshiyuki Sugawa for inviting me to give a plenary talk. His presence was an important inspiration. A big thanks to Professor Rakesh Kumar Parmar. He did an incredible job at organizing this conference. I have organized many conferences supported by NSF, National Science Foundation USA grant, and also several AMS, American Mathematical Society special session meetings. I definitely understand what kind of hard and dedicated work must have gone in organizing this excellent conference. Professor Parmar definitely deserves our gratitude and respect. In particular, very special thanks to all the research scholars and student volunteers. Their warm hospitality, friendship, hard work, and dedication were absolutely exemplary. I have never seen anything comparable in the United States. I will share this experience with my colleague and students when I return to New York. I had the opportunity of having some illuminating discussion with several student volunteers and research scholars. I wish them all the very best in their academic work. All talks were good and I learned much from these interesting talks. In particular, the contributed short talk sessions were excellent. I wish I could attend all of them. It was a pleasure to meet with so many promising young mathematicians from different parts of India. Indeed, this conference was a good learning experience for me. It gave me an exposure to so many different branches of complex analysis and especially the kind of research being done in various parts of India. To sum up, it was a great inspiration to meet with so many professors, postdoctorals, research scholars, and especially enthusiastic young students, all studying and working in different areas of complex analysis. The cultural event on the third day was also wonderful. I had a wonderful experience at Pondicherry University and I hope to have the opportunity to visit the mathematics department in the near future. Thank you all.
Namaskar, Vanakkam, good afternoon one and all. Let the blessings of Lord Hanumanji remains always with us. We are at end of the conference ICFIDCA 2023. When eating fruit, remember the one who planted the tree. As today is the most wonderful, most fruitful day I have ever even seen, I would like to remember all who are behind this. First of all, I am so grateful to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Gurmeet Singh Ji, for all his constant support and encouragement throughout this conference. Hope we have made his vision into reality. I thank the officers and all the staffs of CCC and guests 1 and 2 for their arrangements. I thank all the officers and staffs of EMRC and professor of our Pondicherry University for this media support. The food is very important, and when we arrange such conference, I would like to mention our caterer, Mr. Satish Babu and Co. for their healthy food and service. It has made our journey so comfortable. I would like to thank Mr. Senthil and team for their travel arrangements and availability during this conference. I would like to mention my mother, my wife, Dr. Purnima, and my dear son, Pulkit, for their understanding and support for conducting such a great conference. They have helped me from day one till now. I thank them for their constant encouragement that keeps me in the frequency of positivity. In this busy schedule, there may be a chance of missing somebody's name. So I thank all who have given a single minutes and small favor directly or indirectly for this conference. I thank each and everyone for your contribution in conducting this conference. You made this conference successful. Thank you. Jai Hind.